of the fourth world QuickTake. I'm here with my co-host with a new 4K camera, Nicholas Todd Averly. How are you doing today?
Doing good, man. Doing good.
Okay, so our topic of today's episode is LeBron James shares his first look at the new Space Jam, a new legacy. Space Jam was a series that was started by Michael Jordan and Bugs Bunny, and now the new revolution and the new era is LeBron James starring in the new Space Jam. What's your thoughts about this?
I just got to say, it would have. I think it would have been better with Kobe. Do you think it would have been better with Kobe?
Yeah, Kobe's great, but he's just not the personality that LeBron James is. LeBron James is more in the community.
Yeah.
He has a bigger brand than Kobe, but Kobe was probably, I don't know, I think LeBron James is a better basketball player, but it would have been a nice story to have Kobe in it.
What if they had like you remember? Okay, so before we start getting into it, I think it's really cool, man. Like that they're actually rebooting Space Jam because Space Jam was like a really cool movie back in the day for me. I really love Space Jam. Just the dynamics of how they had Michael Jordan in there mixing in with cartoon characters. I'm pretty sure there were other movies in the time that were made with like that type of style of movie, but I think Space Jam was one of the main ones that really kicked it and carried it up, that type of genre. So what about you?
Yeah, when we probably watched Space Jam, I had the VHS tape, where you had to rewind it, and then it was thick. Sometimes my parents like to go thrifting, and sometimes I go look at the CDs and the Blu-rays, and then sometimes I'll take a glance at the VHS, and Space Jam's be there. That brings back a lot of nostalgic memories of having the VHS player, and it's tape, so you gotta after you're done watching it, you gotta rewind it all the way to the beginning.
Yeah.
And be kind and rewind those type things. But LeBron James is one of my favorite players. I've always followed him through his whole high school career, to his not college. He never went to college, but his NBA career. Yeah. And it's a great story that he couldn't get past the finals, and he kept losing. Then finally he just won a tear and won 4 and 5 years, 10 years, or whatever.
Yeah,
it is. He has a great story and a great brand. He does a lot in the community, and it's nice that he's getting this recognition. Because there's always the big debate whether LeBron's the best or Jordan's the best. Mm-hmm. And to me, I think Jordan will always be the best player. It's insane. He's just one of those players who will never catch up like Tom Brady is now.
Yeah, you can't really compare to anyone in Michael Jordan, just because he made his own special flair when it came to basketball.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter about stats. It doesn't matter about points. It's how he scored those points, how he won the games,
Yeah.
I would always see these videos of how he used to fake people out by palming the ball. He would hold the ball up like he shot it, but then keep holding the ball.
They'll go box out.
Yeah, and then he'll box out, and then he'll actually shoot it, A flair like that, is one of a kind. Yeah. And I only wish that I was old enough to actually remember him playing in his prime. I wasn't alive when he was.
I think we were, but he,
small,
but he was on the Wizards, and he was on a different team than he wasn't on the Michael Jordan Chicago Bulls run.
Yeah,
we were probably 2 or 3 at that age.
Yeah, we were too young, man. So I wish I was old enough to actually watch it. But it's crazy that and I agree now that LeBron has had his struggles and he's gone to the top. You know. And there's no doubt in my mind that he's worked for where he's at now. You got to grind to be able to where he's at now.
He's 35 and still one of the best players in the game, which is insane. The same thing that Tom Brady's doing. Tom Brady's 40 and just won a Super Bowl. And it's crazy how they're breaking all these norms where with age you're supposed to decrease in your play. You're supposed to fall off a cliff. Mm-hmm. But they're still playing at a high level even though their bodies are aging and Father Time's undefeated. But it's they're, with the new technology and what we know about science and everything, they're able to stretch their longevity out.
Yeah, especially you have that kind of money, man. You can watch your diet, how you work out, how you recover after games, all these different things you can.
Different factors.
Yeah, that you can, especially when you have the money, you can take care of yourself.
Because when Jordan played, he smoked a lot of cigars.
Yeah.
He wasn't living the healthiest lifestyle. You watch the Last Dance documentary, he was drinking, he was smoking cigars, and he would still put up 50 a night.
Yeah,
which is a great story in itself.
Yeah,
but LeBron's the ultimate professional, where he takes he's never out of shape. He's
he's
never out of
he's
shape.
he's in it for the long run, like
Yeah.
especially in the off season too. You can see this dude like working and grinding like all the time. His physique, man, is pretty crazy for a
Yeah.
basketball player. So
I just hope the movie's good. Like, the Space Jam movie, it still holds up today. Where like it's something that I would still watch.
yeah,
Who was it? Was it Bill Murray? Yeah, Bill Murray was
Bill
in
Murray,
there.
bro, Bill Murray, man.
And like I was telling you, it was a hint of realistic. Like it was cartoony, but it was a hint of realistic. And from these photos that like just got released, I feel like it's going a little too CGI, where it almost takes you out. Like it's great. It's a great cover. It's great photos, but it almost reminds me of the Spy Kids, the third movie, when they go into the game and it's like bright colors and super neon.
You could tell he's in like a green screen room.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like it's almost too unrealistic. Like it looks too good.
Yeah.
And I just hope they like tell a great story. Like it would be great to see like him in his high school days, where like LeBron didn't grow up with a dad, and like he was grew up in like just by his mom,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like living in Ohio in poverty, and then like, becomes this huge star.
Yeah.
I hope they like incorporate that somehow.
Yeah. So, what do you think the plot line is going to be for the movie, man? Do you think aliens are going to come back?
Probably. So I think it was Chris Paul, Dan Taurasi, and then a couple of other players. But I'm guessing it's like all these remakes that Disney's doing is practically just like an updated version
Of that,
of the
yeah,
movie. So I
yeah.
think it's gonna keep the same plot.
That's cool, man. Yeah, I will watch it. Will you
Me too.
watch
I would
it?
watch it.
Yeah.
I love LeBron James and I love the Space Jam series. But like you said, Kobe probably should have got his own.
Yeah,
Kobe probably
it
should
would
have
have
got his
been
own.
cool. Like if they, I don't know, maybe they might collab on this because
Yeah.
you remember, in the old one, Michael Jordan, he brought in Bill Murray.
Yeah.
So I wonder who they might bring into this movie. Like we kind of saw a clip or picture of I don't know his real actor name, but I know him by War Machine.
War Machine, yeah.
From Marvel. So there's a picture of him in there. So I'm not too sure if he's gonna be Bill Murray's character.
He's gonna bring in Joe Rogan.
Oh.
Start wrestling people.
Just start like kicking people, kickboxing and all that. Yeah, it'd be crazy, dude. So yeah, I'm excited for this, man. And it's I think one of my most favorite scenes in the old Space Jam was, you remember when Bill Murray was like digging the hole,
Yeah.
the golf hole that Michael went into. He's all giant, had a big old huge hole, and those guys are like, "What are you doing?" He's all, "Oh, I'm fixing a divot." And then, you know what a divot is, right? Like at a golf course,
it's like a big whale, and then
like a hole.
Yeah.
No, it's like a hole, like in a golf course. Like if you leave an indentation in the golf course, you're supposed to like fill it with dirt or like bring up the dirt again. I don't know. It's a golf joke, and I was just like cracking up when I was younger, and I was just like, "Yo, he's fixing a divot."
It's taking it too far.
Yeah, it's like,
it's
oh
like
my
a big
God.
hole.
I know. But yeah, that's I really hope that they don't mess this one up and they really do justice of what an iconic movie this was. And hopefully, this will be like the next big thing.
Yeah, LeBron's deserving of it because the Space Jam series was based on Michael, and then we're like, who's the next person? It's gonna be Kobe. It's gonna be LeBron. There's a lot of really good basketball players like KD, James Harden. There's a lot of people. Stephen Curry, yeah. Or like it would have been cool if it was the Warriors, because that's like the real life Space Jam, where like the Warriors team versus LeBron by himself.
Yeah.
It seemed like, because LeBron took a bunch of nobodies to
Yeah.
to the finals,
Right.
and that's one of the big things about the whole Jordan and LeBron debate. I still I'm a huge LeBron fan, but I still think Jordan's the GOAT, and he's just gonna be one of those hard people to overtake for that.
And that's how how you said with Tom Brady, dude. I don't think
anybody will.
I really hate Tom Brady, bro. I really do. Well, I cannot discredit him for what he has accomplished in his life, man. I can't, and it's just, you got to give credit
where it's due.
Where it's due, yeah. So, it's, as far as for LeBron being an actor,
he's like, I've watched him in a couple movies. He's not the best, like.
Yeah.
And his Sprite commercials, I'm always kind of like that. That's a little cringy.
Yeah.
Like his Sprite commercials, yeah.
I haven't seen those, man. I gotta look those up. But like
you used to see him in the movie theaters a lot, like when you go to movies and see his Sprite commercial, yeah.
And that's one thing that's cool about, I don't know, we just keep going back to Michael, but like, he did a bunch of sports, and I think he killed it as far as for acting for that movie, man.
Yeah.
Like he did it really well. And I can't imagine how hard it is to speak to nothing. Like imagine back in the
Just a
day,
green screen.
just talking to a green screen. That must be pretty crazy. So I give props to this man, and I'm excited to watch it, dude.
I'm excited for the soundtrack because when the LeBron like documentary went out when he was in high school, they had a really big song with Drake, Eminem,
Mm-hmm.
Kanye West was on it,
Yeah,
and Lil Wayne, and that song was huge. Like I love that song. I was still listening to that song today and be like, oh, that's a really really good
yeah.
song. I think it's Forever. Yeah, Forever by Drake, Eminem, Kanye
It's
West,
gonna be
Lil
like
Wayne.
the scary movie theme song.
It'll
It's
be
all
it'll be crazy if they all get on a track again because that was a really really great song.
like I would think like who's the production company for this one? Do you
Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers?
Yeah.
I would imagine they would have enough money to be able to do that. Be able to make something cool like that. That'd be legit if they made a VHS version of this, dude.
Go back to old school.
Yeah, man. Like I remember I had the VHS.
But yeah, I have to say, like, the Suns are really good this year. So typically the Suns been trashed the past like since Steve Nash left. The Suns been trash. And I was watching a game, was it the other day, where the Suns played the Lakers.
Yeah,
And it was my first time like rooting for the Suns. Like usually I'm rooting for LeBron because the Suns been terrible. So it's like the Suns and then LeBron, whatever team LeBron's on.
yeah,
And then now I'm just like, I get what people don't like him because sometimes like he barely gets hit or like he flops. I'm just gonna like, bro, you didn't even get hit that hard. But usually I'm rooting for LeBron, so I just overlook it. But since I'm like rooting for the Suns now, it's like, come on, bro. You're like 250 and you barely got hit.
That's where the acting comes in, bro. That's why they picked him, bro. That's why they're like, okay, he's gonna be great for this movie. I swear, if he gets knocked over in the movie, you'd be like, I saw that when he played against the Suns. He did that, bro.
Yeah, so it's like it's a different feeling when you're rooting against him than rooting for him.
Yeah,
and I do see why people don't like him.
like I used to be a LeBron fan back in the day when he was with the Cavaliers, but then like he started moving around and all that other stuff, and I just kind of lost interest at that point. He was never really in the right team until recently, dude. So yeah. I give mad props to him for being able to go to movies.
But he did change a whole era because, like, now I feel like the superstars are okay to move around because LeBron did it first. So KD moved around, James Harden moved around, Russell Westbrook moved around. Before it was like you stay on one team and then you just keep trying and trying, even though that team's not good around you. And LeBron tried for a really long time until he broke that mold, and it was a huge thing. But now just like superstars move around all the time. It's just nothing.
They got the money to move, bro.
For real.
Shoot, man. Well, they're trying to chase that ring, man, and I don't blame them, dude. You can't be stuck on the same team and not get results within a couple of years and expect to stay there, Especially when you know your own talent.
Especially when like, yeah, you're supposed to be like one of the top perennial teams and competing for a championship, and you're good enough, but your surrounding teammates aren't good enough.
Yeah, that's what my sister's going through, bro.
Your sister's LeBron?
My sister's LeBron, man. She's going through it, bro. They got their ass whooped by Paige, bro. It was horrible. But anyways, yeah.
It's just off topic. We'll end that there. Thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe.